Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, Episode 7, The Viewing. Now, this episode was directed by the director who did the film Mandy, and it's crazy because I actually didn't even look up the director. I didn't see it even in the title credits while I was watching it, and at one moment during this episode, especially on the Peter Weller close-up in the vibes, the trippiness, the mood it was giving, and the pace it was going, it reminded me of, if you've seen the film Mandy, it's not really a spoiler, but there is a crazy trippy scene in that film with the close-ups and feeling like you're on drugs watching it. So I was just like, oh yeah, this reminded me of Mandy, and just to see it was the same director, I was like, oh okay, there you go. That was one of those funny feelings I think everyone's had at one point or another. I also really look at this episode as a very feeling episode, it's very mood. I like the retro filter on it taking place in the 70s and this orange look to it, but also the sets were incredible. I love the circular theme going on here, and just having the circular table, circular chairs moving in the whole area. His house, the Sandpiper home, was a circle. It was fascinating. But at the end of the day, it's a very simple concept and story, and it goes to literally what Guillermo is presenting at the top when he's saying a collector becomes the collected, and that would be this character played by Peter Weller, who is known obviously mostly as a RoboCop himself, and he does a great job here. But he's playing Lionel, and you'll see, which I totally agree with in actors' interviews about this episode, that it is a lot like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's also a lot like Clue, and you have this man who's inviting people here, and they're going through and trying to figure out what the end of the day is really happening. You have this mysterious host. There's a mystery under it. I just wish there was a better mystery payoff here, because it's a slow pace and you finally get it, and it's really just an alien rock with a creature in it. That now this is what's collecting the collector himself, Lionel. And I like that Lionel is the monster at the end, and that he's like, help me coming through it. The monster looked incredible. It was terrifying. The practicality of it looked sick. I liked his eyes. You could see through it. And obviously, I'm a huge Eric Andre fan. I loved him here like usual. And you see the theme going on just about the black void and his character Randall talking about it, that we all have inside of us, this black hole, and that we're all collecting, and success, things we have, own, personal items don't really fill that void, and they all go to drugs at the end of the day. That's the crazy hypocritical thing of this man here, and that there's this fairy dust in the cocaine, and that you see his character Randall is relapsing. So this is stuff that temporarily makes you feel good, but doesn't fill that void that we all suffer through. But I love also with the mood of this, that synth loop going on through different moments with different emotional vibes. I like that. And again, it just felt very trippy here, very drug induced feeling. But it's my same problem I had with this director with Mandy, where I think Mandy's overrated, where he's really good at visuals, he's good at making a mood and sticking to it. But it's very basic to me, the story. Like, I'm not that invested with any of these characters. I didn't feel anything. And it's showing you what you are eventually going to get to, that there's a monster here he's hiding, that he becomes the monster himself. And it's like, okay, thank you. But it's not something that sticks with you or hits hard or I'm going to want to watch again. I think it's just really good at setting a mood and has a really cool monster in it, but I don't think there's much to it besides that. So I still think it was a solid episode. So I'm giving it an 8.3, really mostly for the visuals, the acting, and the production design was awesome. And yeah, the monster was sick at the end. But again, didn't feel much emotionally here in this one. Kind of felt numb, and maybe that was the point, but just not amazing and not something I feel like gave enough attention to the story itself and character. But let me know what you thought of this one down below. I love to hear your thoughts. I read every comment, try to respond as many as I can. Please make sure to check out any of my other reviews of this show. I've done every episode now, so you have every review for each episode. Please make sure to subscribe. Please follow me at Steve Harley Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more of me, and I'll see you next time.